Uh, so I guess I'll wait for the eyeballs. I always wait for the eyeball thing.
What
Oh,
eyeball thing? Oh,
hello.
yeah. I get what you mean. I was like, what eyeball?
If you are coming in, this is the Reaper live show for Suffer the Darkness by Yolanda Sefsos. I just said it, by Yolanda Sefsos. Wow. And this is a little horror novella. And I am joined by Kitty from Spicy Cats Read, and her channel is linked down below in the description box. So definitely go subscribe if you read horror. What is it? Horror, fantasy, romance, and like vlogs and Halloween. Lots of Halloween content over there. And yeah, it's a blast. And some housekeeping for Reaper Book Club. So next month, or this month, we are in the month of September. My co-host is Mindy from Mindy's Reading Journey, and we will be reading Mouthful of Ashes by Brianna Morgan. You can find the ebook for this on Scribd, or just, I think the ebook is like $2.99 on Kindle. So yeah, it's a little novella about vampires, and I think it's like a Lost Boys kind of premise, like a gang of vampires. So if you are here, let us know if you read it. We'll be doing non-spoilers, but I'll put up this banner. If you guys leave a little emoji if you read it or did not read it. And Kitty, do you want to say the premise?
Okay. I'm like, remember.
If not, I can do it.
Basically the story follows this woman whose daughter has gone missing, and she basically shows up, but she's acting really weird, and it just catalogs the story about this mother and daughter relationship, essentially. But yeah, that's how I would sum it up. Is that good?
Yeah, I think on the back of the premise, it does say like she's been in the woods for over a year, or she got lost in the woods, but she's a teenager. And the mom, the story starts with her coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she is not doing great. It's very dramatic how I think they find her, or how they approach, like, that whole situation is like so over the top and melodramatic right at the beginning, right off the top. So you're right in the story, and it reads very, very quickly. And yeah, let's see how many people we have reading. Oh, okay. Oh, so lots of people read it. That is awesome. Hi, Amy. Hey, Lindsay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no, Kelsey. Hello, Elizabeth. And if you read it, maybe you'll know why I picked the beer symbol. Maybe. We'll talk about it. Yay, Elizabeth read it. Lindsay read it. Kelsey, that's okay. I'm okay if I get spoiled. Yeah, it's such a short book. It's a novella, so it's really easy to be spoiled. Hi, Melissa. And Christine read it. And Stacy did not read it. So I guess we'll just get into spoilers. I'm going to put a banner up for spoilers. So if you did not read it, and it sounds like something you're really interested in, it is available on ebook on Scribd, like Mouthful of Ashes, to go check it out. I don't think there's an audiobook for it, though, but I believe the ebook is like 99 cents, or it was when I last looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely go check it out. It is a newer book. I think it came out in like June or July. And I have some other banners I made. So getting into the spoilers of it. So as I said, like the very beginning, you're kind of thrown in to I totally forgot the mom's name. I forgot everybody's name just now. But yeah, the mom is told her daughter has been found over like a year. And she was in a car accident with a woman that works at the hospital. So her mind is racing, like, did this woman take my child, like, because she works at the hospital with her, and she spent this past year confiding in her. So that's like something that goes off, and it is kind of a bit of a mystery until later. Her boyfriend she's seeing is a sheriff
Yeah.
or a police officer in this small town, and he's rushing up. She sees the car flipped over, like it's very like over the top, which I was like, oh wow, this is like a TV show episode.
Yes, that's
Like,
what I was gonna say. It reminded me of like the beginning of like Criminal Minds or like SVU, like something very like intense, and it was raining or something, and I was like, oh my god, like I'm in it. Like I also see the car flipped over in my brain. It was very dramatic entrance for sure.
it was, and like just looking at like a random page of dialogue, it was just like so much dialogue,
Mm-hmm.
so much talking. Right off the bat. Also, the way the physical book is formatted, I don't know if the ebook did it, but it didn't do it like by day.
Oh yeah. And
It
like
was like
times or whatever.
in
Yeah.
times. I thought that was interesting because I liked when it went time unknown, then it
Mhm.
switched to the POV.
That was my fave.
I thought that was really interesting and fun to do. But yeah, basically the daughter is possessed or being possessed. So the way she's described is having like all these injuries, and then but it looks like she was stitched up with like the grass, which I was
Mhm.
like, that is so bizarre and weird to like even imagine like somebody stitched with
Yes, 'cause
grass
what
like
did she use as a needle? You know, like, what was it? Like, did she sharpen a stick?
yeah,
Like
I was like, that is how does that work? Yeah,
Mhm.
I had other questions, but I was like, okay, that's cool. That's interesting. Like maybe we'll like find out something about that. And I feel like they never do,
No.
really. But yeah, and then what happened? Okay, she takes her daughter home, and more stuff starts happening. You find out that she has other kids, and they're being affected.
Mhm.
How did you feel about the um or I guess like how did you feel about kind of being like bombarded with like or thrown into the story? I guess we
Mhm.
yeah.
I liked the entrance to the book, like the before, like it's like the first couple of pages where you learn about like the creature that is like a folk tale for this town, and like you get that verse where she's like accepting like this being, like she's like, okay, I'm down to get possessed. So I was like super into it then. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be really good. But then once it like starts unfolding with like this mom and like her second chance romance with the sheriff, and then like she's got all these kids and they're also kind of like seeing this creature, like I was like when we're on your reading sprints and like we're like, I don't know, I was like 50 pages in or something, and someone asked me like what I thought, like at that moment in time I would have been like, yeah, this seems like very like 2-star rating right now. Like it wasn't really like, I wasn't like super invested in it. But then as like that's why I was like, I don't want to say anything until I finish, because like I feel like the book is best to be experienced like in a binge and just read the whole thing before you like start chopping it apart and like rating like different sections of it. So like that part I was kind of like, okay, like I'm intrigued, but like also like, okay, like there's a lot of moving parts. Like I feel like there's a lot of influences. I think I would have preferred if it was just her and her daughter and not have like all these other like other relationships that are going to influence the story. But like at that point I was like, okay, I'll get into it. But yeah, that's how I felt about that.
Yeah, it felt like a lot. It
Mhm.
felt like you're thrown in, and yeah, you're getting a lot like all at once, and you're like, oh my gosh, like this is so complicated already. It feels like she like has to talk about like, oh, her husband and like her ex-husband, and like
Yeah.
his wife is just mentioned very briefly, and like her relationship with the kids, like it's a lot. Like
Yeah.
you're being info dumped so much at the beginning. I guess I should have asked this before we just started talking about it. What were everybody's ratings?
I ended up giving it 4 stars.
I think I'm leaning towards 4 as well. Mostly because of like the very, very end, which has been happening for me recently. It happened with You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight or whatever, that YA. I was like, this is like a 3-star if anything. And then like something happens in the epilogue of that book and I was like, oh, this is a 4-star afterwards. So that just kind of happened for me too. It was feeling like a 3-star for me until the very ending. I accidentally read back to back with The Devil Crept In, and they're very similar. That one is very similar. That is by Anya Alburn, and it is about a woman who lives in the woods, and I believe her baby gets like kidnapped or missing for a moment, and then like he comes back. Or no, I think he was just born. He was born different. Like he likes to eat something else other than baby food, if you know what I mean. That's kind of a wild Anya Alburn. Hi y'all, didn't get a chance to read this one, but I'm always looking forward to hearing you both chat about anything. Aw. For its length, I didn't need all these people. Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess that's how I feel too. And then there is like a ghost thing in this too that just random. Yes. I feel like that was so random, and she's just like, whatever, I'm gonna roll with it, which is cool. But it's like at this point, with how many pages we have, it's like she had to be cool with it, right? Because that's how the plot kind of moved forward with this ghost. That was funny. 3.5. Nice 3 stars. 3 stars. Didn't end up getting to it, but here to say hello. Hi, Carly. I gave it 4 as well. Nice. And 3.5. Nice. So pretty much like kind of all the same. I know, I don't think Kelly's here, but I know Kelly really liked it. I think she gave it 5 stars. Or maybe it was a 4, which is still really good for her because she rates like difficult. Pretty tough. So it does end up being that her daughter is not only is she possessed, but she's like possessed by a bunch of different demons. So of course, stuff starts happening when she gets home. What was your favorite, I guess, spooky part?
I think definitely when like the sheriff like gets taken, I don't know, he goes into the forest, and I'm just like assuming this creature just kind of like absorbs you or something. I don't know. It takes you to a different dimension, I think, where he just basically just tries to, I don't know, like make you yield to whatever he wants from you, like I guess to accept him to possess you or something. And then, but my favorite part was when he gets like taken into this whatever other dimension where all this stuff's happening, and then he gets bent backwards, and he's just like weirdly like curved on his back and just kind of like scuttling around. And like when the girl sees him, and he's just like this like deformed, like his back's bent all weird, and he's just like, I just imagined like the thing just like scuttling around, like it was just him, just really, really creepy and gross, and like his bones snapping. I was like, oh my god, that's absolutely disgusting. 5 stars.
It was like the smoke. It was like the tendrily black smoke like going into them and then like bringing them and being possessed. Yeah, I like that part a lot too. I like the body horror in it. That's what kind of like pulled me out of this like, what the heck? Why is there a million characters in this book? But I was like, okay, I can get down with this body horror aspect of it. I think one of my favorite parts is towards the beginning when the sheriff is walking into the hospital to check on, I think her name came to me, Molly, and she's like, or his deputy just like smashes in front of him, like from the building. I was like, damn, I was like not expecting that at all, because he was thinking about like his girlfriend. He's like, oh my god, I love her so much, I know she's going to, and then it's like, bam, I'm covered in my friend's blood. Like, what the hell? Like,
I feel like there was not enough emphasis on that part because I'm like, you literally just witnessed like your deputy die in front of you, and he was just like, okay, like let's
I
keep
think when he
going.
went home, he like had a beer. He's like, I need a beer because I saw my
like,
friend fucking smashed in pieces in front of me.
That is so funny. Oh my god.
That gave me kind of like Exorcist vibes in it.
Mhm.
To like when that dude like throws himself down the stairs.
Yes.
I was like, oh, that like reminds me of The Exorcist. I should have worn my Exorcist shirt for it today. I wore it yesterday for Camp Damascus. Oh darn. Oh, we have a 2 stars.
Ooh.
Oh, what didn't you like about it, Erin? Anya's the reason I gave this one a 3. The missing kid in the woods who comes back home different. Yeah. 4 stars. She must have hated it. Not for Kelly. That's really good. When the mom goes looking for the sheriff and she sees the creature in the woods for the first time, all I could picture is the creature from the ritual.
That's
Yeah.
really good. That's really good.
Yeah, that scene is really, really good. This almost felt like a very short screenplay.
Mhm.
Like it could have been like this could be a screenplay. This could be a really tight, like 90-minute film, like to shoot.
Yes. It would be really good.
I kept imagining the Stranger Things smoke monster had the lump that yes. That I think that part was one of my favorite parts. And then I guess like the ending when you see, is it Cortos, or you
I think that
actually
was his name. Yeah.
Yeah, you actually see him come in and he's being commanded by somebody. I was like, oh, twist. Although sometimes it's even more fun to listen to people talk about weird episodes without any context. You know, I should do that. I should just pop into book club lives more frequently if I haven't read the book. Yeah, this one is probably a wild one to jump in on. Yeah, I liked the ending a lot. I liked that it was Sophia. I kind of guessed that, and I don't go in guessing, attempting to guess stuff. But I think I did make a note here. I was like, this monologue from Sophia, like her crazy story that's like straight out of like the Pope's Exorcist movie or some shit, because I just saw that. So I was like thinking about that. I was like, what the fuck is this story? Like both her parents died during an exorcism, and like she had to like be an orphan and travel around and stuff. And I was like, wait a second. I was like, something is suspicious about this story. Like
she was very sus. Like she was a really weird character. And I think the time where I was like, okay, she's kind of weird was when like the mom basically says like, yeah, she never gets out of the car. And I was like, yeah, that's weird. Why doesn't she get out of the car? Like you literally know her. She's going to take your kids to her house. Like, why doesn't she get out of the car to like say hi to you? Like that's kind of weird. Like I felt like she was a little weirdo. And then when she's like trying to force her to like do the hypnosis thing, and then like the main character, the mom's like, I don't know about this. I was like, girl, trust your instinct. She's weird. Like she's a weirdo. She's gonna do something. But I didn't know it was gonna go in the direction I did. I just thought she was kind of weird. Like I was like, she's up to something, but not like what ended up happening in the end.
Yeah, where I'm assuming she was like very successful with it because she was like chilling and drinking.
Yeah, she's
quote
vibing.
unquote her favorite beverage, which if I'm not mistaken, she opened a beer. So cheers, Sophia, to burning the world down, I guess. Like you did it, girl power.
I support the wrongs of women.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you did it. Good job.
Yes,
Yeah, so Evil One in this one, which is kind of a fun trope. Like that's one of my favorite things is like one last scare, or like a continuation of like the plot going on. I thought that was like really fun and still like very pulpy.
Mhm.
Like this would be perfect for Garb August, I think. Like as a Garb August like new read, I think it would work really well. But yeah, I think I touched on all my notes. Oh, I did write when it kept killing the cops. I was like, this thing hates cops.
Literally. I was like, ACAB, okay. I get
Oh
it.
no, another cop. Oh no.
I
It's
was
like
like,
it like has it out for it.
she does. Did you like the romance in this? Like the second chance romance between the cop and the mom?
I I mean, I guess so. I guess because it was like it added like more stakes
Mm-hmm.
to the plot and like added more depth to the characters. Um but yeah, I think that part was really cute. Like especially from the sheriff's point of view. He was like so cute
Yeah.
about it. He was
He
like
was
I
so
just want to
sad.
be in her bed, like
Mhm.
in her warm bed and I was like, dude, that's cute that you're
I
thinking
know.
that.
That's what made me so sad when he gets like turned into this weird, like, I don't even know what he looked, but like the things sort of thing. I was like, oh, that is so sad. Like, she just lost the love of her life. Like, I was like, no, so sad.
Yeah. In like a horrific way
Mm-hmm. Oh
too.
my god.
And yeah,
Yeah.
not fun. Um I take it Melissa didn't read it either. You saw it coming. Yeah, I feel like that whole dialogue that was so forced. It was like watching a Flanagan thing. Like Mike Flanagan does like forced dialogue sometimes in his
Mm-hmm.
newer stuff. And it's like, okay, we get it. Like we need to know that this is not all true. You don't think the end made any sense. Yeah, I guess I wasn't quite sure what Sophia's goals were other than to wreak havoc for.
I thought she was like trying to. Okay, so what I got from the book, I could be wrong, but what I got from the book is that Sophia is possessed by a demon. I don't know what kind, if multiple, but I feel like she's possessed by a demon, and that demon is trying to find a vessel to like hop into after like Sophia becomes kind of useless to it.
That's right,
And
because
that's
she was possessed during the exorcism
yeah, and they
that her parents
failed.
died
Hmm.
in.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So I think she's possessed, and then she wanted to do all this crazy shit just to get the daughter, because she was like, oh, this would be another perfect vessel for me. So I think that's why she does what she does, and in the end is just to have a vessel to switch into once Sophia becomes useless, I guess.
and then
That's what I got.
she went into the other daughter, um, that she was like closer with. It seemed like, or got closer with.
Yeah, the little one. I
Yeah,
forgot what the one that like loved her, was like,
Theo.
Sophia's so cool. Like, I was like, oh, she wants her as a vessel, like, and she's just like, I'm just gonna fuck this whole family up, kill everyone so that I can like take this little girl without anyone noticing.
Yeah, and the town they were in seemed to be like, I don't know, like nobody's paying any
No
attention
one
here. Like
cares.
nobody's they don't got Mulder and Skelly there. They're like
No,
nobody's calling the FBI, like nothing. Because
literally
didn't
three
they say
cops
somebody
missing.
pushed? Yeah, yeah,
No one
and somebody
cares.
pushed one of the cops off
Yeah.
of the building, and it's like I'm pretty sure they would call in like the FBI would be there, but I feel like it all happened really quickly too.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, she wanted a newer vessel, but I guess the Molly, when she went to do it or something, like she got like possessed by other demons and was like useless, is what I got. But she also controlled
She controlled
Court,
the yeah.
yeah, Corto. So yeah,
I
I was
don't yeah.
like, I mean, she won
I don't
in
think
the
Molly
end.
was like her goal. I don't think Molly was ever like the vessel that she wanted. I think she just needed an excuse to essentially kill this entire family.
Yeah,
And I think like she knew like like she knew what was gonna happen, like that, what was his name, Corton or whatever, needed like somebody to like accept his demons because the demons were getting restless or something, and so he needed someone to let it out from, and maybe like she kind of provided Molly for him so that he could like rest, like it was kind of like a trade-off. I don't know. And then he would just kind of like help her with her weird plan to like kill this entire family.
It's almost like with all of the characters she had at the beginning, it felt like that with like the motives a bit, like too. It was like, I'm gonna have a million things going on.
Yeah.
But there's one goal
Yes.
here. But there's gonna be 5 other things going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely too much happening in such a small book. Like too many characters, too many motives, too much stuff,
Hey cops, okay, I'm reading this. Yeah, it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So Sophia was the survivor. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Molly got too cut up and they had to stitch her up with the leaves.
Molly's too old. She was just like in her teenager years, and she was like, I can't deal with that. She's like, I need someone malleable, I think. I don't know.
She's like, I need coffee. And pour scalding coffee on for me. Some poor mom was like, I was making that for myself. And now you just melted your fucking face with the coffee. I was like, oh no.
The mom like running away, like she's like, I need to see my boyfriend, and she just like leaves her child, like possessed child with this social worker. She's like, I gotta go see my boyfriend. Like
she is like, I'm glad you're here. I gotta go. Yeah, that part was funny. And then they're like, but where is she? Like, doesn't she run into somebody else? And they're like, where's Molly? And she's like, oh yeah, I left her.
The kids, yeah. She's like, bye. Oh my god.
And she goes and sees the lady that was driving the car, and she psychically she sees her ghost or something because she's dying. Yeah. And I was like, here we go again. But she accepted.
That's a giant thing or whatever. Corvost. I don't know how to say his name. But yeah, the Molly does accept him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the cop doesn't, which is why he's like getting tortured horrifically. So I think like,
yeah,
unless you accept, obviously they can't. Like, it's like, I think that's traditional demon stuff. Like you have to like willingly like accept them, but they can make you suffer. So I think she probably was suffering for like a whole year in the forest. And then she's like, finally like, okay, like me too. Like I would have not gone through all that.
Yeah. Yeah. After the coffee part, for sure. It's like a million stuff plan that could have been too. Yes. Exactly. Yes, Aaron. I agree. Yeah, her chin, like, ugh.
That was
that was rough. The therapist reminds me of Barb from Stranger Things. They just left her. Yeah. Poor Barb. R.I.P. Barb. So I do have, let's see what other question I have here. Oh yeah, the motherhood question for all those moms that read it. Do you think motherhood was represented well through? I still don't remember. I remember everybody else's name. I don't remember
anyone's name.
Kay Roscoe. Do you think she was a good representation, or like would you do or react this way if like one of your children were possessed or like missing, or like do you think it was realistic, I guess, like what she was going through and all the thoughts? Because I feel like that was kind of repetitive for me, and it was like she was like, oh my gosh, like I've been worrying all this time and I shouldn't be worrying now, but I'm worrying even more. Like it was like a struggle with her character.
Yeah. Or when she was like, I feel like I'm such a bad mother because I just got my child back, but I don't want to spend any time with her, and things like that. And I was like, Like, I don't know, I'm not a mom, so I can't relate to it, but I thought it was funny that she was like, "Yeah, I gotta go." Like, "Bye. I gotta go check on my boyfriend."
Yeah,
Bye.
when things got real, she was like, "Okay, somebody else is here." But also she was trying to find answers too, like
Mhm.
by doing that. The type of mother I would be. Yes.
Yes, I forgot about that when she locks herself in her room, which I think I would understand, like, if your, like, child are being really annoying and you're just like, "Oh my god, I just need some, like," but I don't know, like, this child is possessed.
Yeah, I feel like the doctors were trying to get rid of her too.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, let's get you back to bed. Yeah, they kept saying that.
She's has, like,
Um,
third-degree burns on her chin, and she's like, "Back to bed. Back to bed."
yeah,
No.
I would have
Yeah.
left her to the hospital longer because I mean, you could tell like something wasn't right. And wasn't she a nurse too? Kay was a nurse. So, um, she would have known, like, I feel like she'd have sway where she
Mhm.
worked, like, to have her daughter, like, set up with the best and, like, be able to stay the longest. Um, yeah, she left that place
Mhm.
too soon. Uh, yeah, the doctors were like, "We don't know. Bye." Which is the healthcare system, but
That's true.
here, they're like, "I don't know. See you later. Here's a bill for $20,000. Have fun."
But then doesn't the doctor get taken too? Like, what did the doctor do to deserve to die? Like, that
Oh,
was
yeah,
just
the doctor gets murked, everybody that was in contact with,
yeah,
like, Molly or,
really.
like, and the lady in the car accident, like, they all
Mhm.
eat it. I see possessed Molly and her chin nails. I'm going to do go.
You do you.
Also, Molly is older. It's not like she's, like, 5 or something,
Mhm.
so it's like she's, like, 16 or
Mhm.
something, and it's like, yeah, I'll leave you alone for now, like, here's some movies, we can go rent movies or put on streaming or whatever, uh,
Mhm.
but but you're freaking me out.
That's, like, the
True.
first thing that happens to her. She's, like, goes to hug her daughter, and she just, like, like, throws her. I was like,
Yeah,
"Damn."
and she's, like, mumbling stuff. She's like, "I hate you," or something. Like, she's saying, like, the worst stuff, like, under her breath, and she's like, "What's going on?" In the hospital's like, "That's normal.
Yeah.
That's normal for kidnap victims. There, she's gonna resent you for the rest of her life, you know?" And I was like, "What? This is more than resentment.
I know.
Like, this is full on like hatred. Like, I'm
Mhm.
worried about her." Yeah, that was um a good question. Okay. The last question is, what B movie does this remind you of? Because I kept getting B movie vibes from this in a good way. I love B movies. This gave me Evil Dead vibes,
Mm.
the first one.
Mhm.
Like the possession stuff in it. Uh and what other one? Night of the Demon. Have you seen that one?
I don't think I've seen that one.
I think you'd really like it. It's
I'll
like
add it
about
to
these
my list.
kids that go to party at like a crypt or something, or like a house that's
Mhm.
like a funeral home, and they all get possessed, and it's so great. There's a great like dance scene in it. Uh it gave me those vibes. So like I guess I'll mostly like possession B movie stuff. Um
I think what it reminded me of is not really a B movie, like, I don't think it's considered a B movie, but it did remind me of, like, when the guy not jumps off, when he gets pushed off the building, it reminded me of Constantine, like, when the sister jumps off the building because she doesn't wanna, like like, that whole thing, that reminded me of that. And then some other parts because of the whole possession and, like, the exorcism also reminded me of Constantine. And then the, like, mom reminded me of the mom from The Ring because I was like, she's such a bad mom that I was like, they're similar. Like, not the story itself, but like just the mom relationship with their kids reminded me of The Ring too. But I don't think those are real
Yeah.
movies. They just like, those are some movies that it
The
reminded
mom
me.
in The Ring in the movie is just like, oh, I'm sorry, I left you alone for like hours, little boy. I'm sorry. And he's like terrified. He's like such a great kid actor. Oh gosh. Yeah, I guess speaking of Evil Dead Rise, because that is like a mom, but that's
Yeah.
flipped. That's like the kid. Well, spoiler for that. Kids do get possessed in that, and it's great. But yeah, I feel like the mother stuff, the motherhood stuff in Evil Dead Rise is really great. Like some of the lines in that were perfect. So I kind of wish Kay got possessed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been fun. Like because yeah, the commentary on all of that was great. I think when I left that movie, I was like, finally, an Evil Dead movie for moms. It finally happened.
No, yeah.
Yes. I think that caught shit up today. I love Night of the Demons. Yes, Night of the Demons is amazing. Angela is fantastic character. I'm currently reading Evil Seeds, a collection of evil kids movies. So I'll have rec soon. I filmed my August wrap up today, and I realized a lot of like the stuff I read for Garb August was like evil kid stuff, like Nathaniel or John Saw books, Dean Koontz. Like in some way, like they were all different enough, but they were all evil kid books, and I like did not like a lot of them. I was like, I don't
like
these.
evil kids stories. I think they're really boring, and I'm just like, because I'm like, if that was me, I would have like just, I don't even like, I would have gotten rid of that kid. Like, I'm not doing all that. I don't think, yeah, like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the evil kid trope.
I would like start a blog probably. It'd be like my evil kid.
A support group?
Yeah, I'd start a support group. A little bit of Tamra, the hospital scenes and the team coming back evil, and Malin people one by one. I haven't seen this.
I don't think so either.
But I think I've seen the cover of it before, like on Tubi or something. Okay, I'll have to check it out. Unrelated, but definitely like a D movie. I freaking attempted to watch 100 Tears on Tubi. It's from 2007, and it's like Terrifier before Terrifier, like but it not stylized at all, and like shot on digital, and it's terrible. It's awful. It's literally like, it was so bad I had to turn it off. I was like, this is ridiculous. It's too bad. But I was watching it for the carnival, and I was like, I can't even get through this because it's just so bad. Yeah, Tamara.
Exactly.
Oh, but that movie's cute. I forget the name of that movie. It's on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
it's like Little Evil. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that Little Evil movie. Yeah. I was like, I forgot the name of it. It's right there. Yeah, that movie's really cute. He like realizes he is evil, and he's just like, well, I'm your dad now, so get used to it. Like, he's like, well, I'm gonna have to be cool with you. So like, and he's like all positive.
God.
Jenna Tatum. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to watch that one. Another evil. I'm only thinking of The Exorcist. I don't know why.
Like Omen. That's like a little evil kid movie.
Yeah, The Omen. There aren't any, like, there was that B movie that's, is it The Seed or something? It's like,
Oh, yes, where she like got an abortion or something and she's like growing like the son of the devil or something. That one.
and it like pops out
Yeah.
and it has teeth and stuff.
Yeah. I remember
I
that one.
think I saw that like at a really young age and I was like, oh no. Remind me never to do that. Remind me never to get pregnant.
Literally. Horrifying.
But yeah, I feel like this wasn't super evil kid though, because like other than her aggression towards her mom, it didn't feel like it was like constant. But maybe because it's just not long enough either. So it's
And
not like
and she wasn't really doing anything. Like she just sat at the window staring. Like she wasn't like really terrorizing her family or her mom. Like she was just kind of like just sitting there looking out with her creepy little eyes and just like, I don't know, drinking hot coffee. Like, I don't know. I feel like for an evil
really coffee.
for an evil kid movie, like I feel like they either like mess with their siblings or their parents. But she like, I guess she was mean to her mom, but like aside from that, she was kind of just like just on the wicker chair, staring out into the forest, like. So it didn't really feel too like evil kid movie or evil kid story.
Yeah, it just is like something's wrong with you.
Yeah, like I'm like, very creepy.
Like you went through something. Something happened. Is there anything else? Any final thoughts?
I'll look at my notes real quick.
Oh, she's a witch. Ooh, a witch movie.
I guess I really liked like the lore for the monster itself. I thought it was like pretty interesting, especially like the little rhyme that they have for it, like in the beginning.
Yeah, and then they say it later on.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, I like that too. Do you think? I mean, I don't think it's enough to be categorized in folk horror for that, but it felt a bit folky because it was like regional and like in their community, it's like a known thing. Yeah. And those woods, very scary.
It reminded me of that T. Kingfisher book that is like folk horror, the one with like the creepy doll room.
Oh, the Twisted Ones?
Yes, it reminded me of the Twisted Ones because of the whole like you go into the forest and you kind of end up in like a different place or whatever, but in this case you're just like absorbed by this creepy demon thing. It reminded me of that too.
It kind of gave me those vibes of like, have you ever heard this like folklore in Appalachia? It's like if you hear your name in the woods or you hear whistling, like never answer it, like you run. Like that like kind of reminded me of that too.
Or I've heard that if you hear screaming in the woods to never go try and help, or if you hear someone calling out for help to never go and like try and help, because like you're just gonna get like it's gonna be something crazy if you do it in the woods or whatever.
Yes. Have you seen those Skinwalker TikToks? It's like they hear screaming and like a deer like gets really close to them and like walks up to people and stuff. Like it's like stuff like that, or like they hear screaming and like it's like an animal and the animal's coming up to them and they're like, oh nope, not today.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, the Skinwalker TikToks are very scary. Yeah, like more like folky possession, I guess, is what I would categorize it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, she was just kidnapped for a year and a half, but she'll get over it. She'll be fine.
And like the monster wasn't really like, what he was doing was out of character for him, because he would just take like wandering travelers, like that was his thing. But because like Sophia had him like being more like active, that's why he was like being more aggressive. But I think like naturally, I don't think he really wanted to be there. So I wasn't that scared of him. I was just like, oh, that sucks, bro. Like at the end, I was like, that really sucks. They got you manipulated to do all this stuff for this woman. But I don't
I
think he
know
would have
you.
actually done it, like, just on his own.
Yeah, you have to push cops off of roofs.
Yeah.
Because he like had to attempt to push the other cop off too, like because
Yeah.
he almost had to. It was pushed off, like he was like holding on, and you see the smoke like
He's,
lifting
like,
his
crying.
fingers, and he's like, "No!" I was like, "What is happening right now?" I love it. This is so goofy. Yeah, I guess.
Mhm.
I go. Final thoughts is like, yeah, more folk horror. And I did like how short it was and like how much it did try to do. I mean, was it worth it? Probably not. Of everything here, but I think it kept it interesting. It was
Mhm.
like, oh, okay. I know Yolanda, it looks like this author has a lot of other books that I was looking at, like Wall of Dolls.
Oh, I saw that one, yeah.
I need to read that one.
Mhm.
The Wired City, The Bone Factory, Breaking the Habit, Hell of a Ride, A Stitch on Time, On Pins and Needles, Split at the Seams, A Patch of Darkness. All very interesting titles. I think Suffer the Darkness is a really interesting title
Mhm.
too. And it says it in the book at one point. It's like,
Yeah.
to suffer the
The
darkness.
darkness.
And I was like, yeah, he said the title.
That is
um,
so funny.
oh, The Sunken Place. Oh, interesting.
Mm.
Oh, The Sunken Place is terrifying. That in Get Out is the scariest thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, because of the hypnotism stuff
Mhm.
too. Yeah, that's a great comparison,
And,
Erin.
like, she couldn't stop herself from, like, reciting what she was saying. Like, she just had like, she couldn't do anything. So, it was, yeah, very much sunken place for the mom.
Yeah, that part was cool.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't think I have any other thoughts. I liked pretty much everything other than like I think it tried to do too much.
Mm.
I liked the beer references. As you can see, I always
Everyone's
like it
drinking
when a
beer.
character drinks a beer, especially when the evil one drinks a beer at the end. And it's
Mhm.
her favorite beverage. Sipping on her favorite beverage. I was like, okay, this demon likes beer. I get it.
I'm like,
um,
relatable.
yeah, relatable. You're my best friend. You like beer. Oh my gosh. So again, Kitty's channel is linked in the description box down below. And if you missed last month's show as well, I linked Queen of Teeth. And thank you guys so much for joining and reading Suffer the Darkness with us. It was a blast. And yeah, I was like, I'll see you guys in the future. Have a good night. Bye.